No, no.
Hey, this is 100 here. We're at the Soul Socket 1801 Jefferson Street, Suite 204 at Sit Down Sundays. And today's topic is friendships versus relationships. I'm gonna let you. I'm gonna let my guests introduce themselves.
Okay, hey guys, it is Jessica Lene. I am a Nashville influencer. I'm a single mom and content creator. So you can definitely find me on IG and all platforms at Jessica Lene with a little underscore.
Alright, peace, family. I'm Brother Sanchez Bay, aka Chainsaw, founder and CEO of Star Apparel, co-founder of Chopping Up Barbershop, Nashville, Tennessee, 37115. Yeah, check me out, tap me in. Thank you.
All right, so today, like I said, the topic is friendship versus relationship. My wife had asked me, we got to this, not an argument, but it was an argument. So we got to this argument about, because this is female that I know, and I left a comment, I left a comment emoji, and I'm telling her I'm showing love and it's just a friend type of thing, but she doesn't see it that way. But it was just a whole, I feel like it was a misunderstanding, but she doesn't see it that way. But I still understand where she's coming from. But one thing I noticed, people who prioritize friendships over relationships, as far as I was one of those people. Like, if I had multiple friendships when I was young with females and males. So like I was dead like, yeah, that's my dog, that's my homegirl, I'm gonna do whatever. But then when it came to my relationship, I wasn't giving out that same energy. It was like, we can do it another time, or we can, I don't really feel like I'm not in the mood type of deal. But if my homegirl or homeboy call, like, I'm hopping straight up, putting on clothes, here I come. And I knew for a fact, now that I know and I'm older, I really was putting friendships over my relationships. But even with the energy that I was giving, like, you have some people who will go a mile and further for their friends than they will do for their significant other at home. But sometimes I feel like they force that upon you, because if you don't have, I'm not gonna say you don't have anything going on, but give me that type of friendship that I need. Well, first I'm gonna ask you, do y'all feel like a friendship is good to have, like, in a relationship? Do you feel like you should be friends first?
You are supposed to be friends. That's the solid foundation. I think you are ultimately supposed to be my best friend before anything. And like you said, you have that support system, or you show that support with your friends. I want that same with my partner. I want my partner to be my biggest supporter and to be my biggest fan.
Okay, so is it friends that you don't have, that you're not friends with anymore? Like people that you was like real close, like, this is gonna be my friend to the end, and then it's like, damn, where they go?
Yeah, I've outgrown people.
Well, okay, now you say you outgrown them, so I guess that makes sense. Because I have outgrown people too, but I just feel like, I don't know, when it comes to friends and relationships, like I feel like certain people just value friendship with a certain person more than they do with their relationship. But okay, let's say for instance, you friends with somebody first, and then y'all become lovers or in a relationship. I feel like now when it boils down, when it gets heated, you're bringing up, well, it's personal because y'all in a relationship, but it's like certain things they'll say to you because they know they can tick you off. But if y'all just got into it in a relationship and really wasn't friends, then it wouldn't go that far. I don't know, does that make sense?
It makes sense, but for me, I think, thinking about how you're thinking and looking at it, what I'm seeing is that people put so much pressure on the word relationship. Like, they don't just say, hey, you know what, I'm just going to get to know this person, I'm going to treat them like a friend, and then if something transpires, then that's even, better because it was genuine, it was authentic. People look at it like, no, I'm only going to talk to her because I'm interested to get in a relationship, but I'm going to play the game, and it's not going to be my real, like, authentic self, given in that. Just because of the stigma of relationship, people put so much pressure on. So that's how I look at it, and I see both sides, but yeah.
I think what I'm getting, it seems like a friend, the way you're speaking about it, y'all might have a certain ethic or morals and codes that y'all know of each other. And let's just say you're in a relationship, but you my friend, and when you call, I jump up and go. We might have secrets that the person in my relationship don't know. So I can jump up and call and come for you right then and there. And why you always do that? You might not know, the person I'm in a relationship with might not know what you've done for me when I was at my worst. And I may be using that as fuel to keep going. But let's just say, if I got a friend with the same, I got a friend outside of my relationship with another female. That's why a lot of my problems was coming in, that if the female was to happen to be a girl, so must be my homeboy, it'll be my girl. And I think that's a slippery slope, depending on the energy when you answer the phone for that person. You can be into it with your relationship, the person you're in a relationship with, and that person called and you just happy, but you was just arguing with her 2 minutes ago, like how this person get you to smile and such and such. So I think that's where a lot of it come from.
Do you think it would affect you if it was vice versa? If you got to argue with your lady and then her guy friend called and she just, yeah, what's up, what's going, and then just
Yeah. I mean, listen here, I'm not an insecure person, but I'm not jealous, I'm territorial. So yeah, I want to know what switch he got to just do that to you. You know what I mean? Now, even if you don't come out strong about it, you might come out playing about it. Damn, we just got you to smile that fast, and I was just arguing. You know, I jab a little bit like it, and I'm gonna pay attention to the energy. You know what I mean? Like
I will say, being a female and trying to date, when it comes to knowing that men are gonna have friends that are females, that's fine. But it's at the point where I'm not respected, or I'm not, like his person, and it's whatever respect you give him, you give that same respect to me, because you trust in him that he will make the right decision for himself and who he chooses to date. So I think a lot of people just don't respect those boundaries, and respect me as an individual, and that's when I feel like a lot of females don't.
A lot of situations. See, when you date somebody who don't got goals, that's a deal breaker. But when you got a female that's goal oriented, and maybe she's an entrepreneur, got whatever stuff going on, I respect them more having friends than just like the relationships I've been in the past. They just people that go to work for people, not knocking them. Like, what you mean your friend? Now we ain't doing no friends. Now, like my business, speaking of my clothing line, I got people who gotta make my flyers. I got people gotta direct people to my website. So I have to engage with more people. So then the relationships make sense to me. But like now, a man ain't too much open to that. From what I see now, maybe if you get a certain kind of a man, but if you growing up in an urban, we not raised to let our female have a friend. It's not as a dude, you know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard. What you mean he your friend? You know what I mean? Nah, we ain't doing that.
I mean,
you know what I'm saying? Because like they say,
That's no friend.
I seen a meme where they say grab your girlfriend and text, say me and my dude broke up, and you want to hang out and watch what he say. So women like to be naive sometimes, but a man can tell, just like a woman can tell. You might be somebody you work like she like you. You be like, nah, shit, man. I'm telling you, like the other person can feel it.
I'm not gonna say I don't agree with that, but cause my wife tell me all the time, or she be like, she go off of likes and like comments and stuff. She likes, like, you can't tell that from comments and likes. That's how does she like me if she's liking me and your pictures and commenting on me and your pictures? But she like, but bitches think they slick and they know what they doing and they just don't respect. I'm like,
I do agree with her. I do agree. But we live in a day and age of social media. That's what it is. And most of the time, or majority of the time, I feel like whoever we end up in a relationship with, we probably met them on social media, or a friend who knows them based on social media.
But they don't want to accept it. Go ahead.
But I mean that's reality, and I feel like because of that, we know how that transpires. We know it's a spamming somebody's page, and then them noticing that, them being in the DMs, and then having that conversation that's private. But to
so
the
is that
person
a form of online dating?
That is, social media isn't on
It's a form of online dating.
Instagram, Facebook, all of that. It's all a form of online dating.
You got 1,000 followers at your disposal telling you you're cute every day. You got a woman who got to wake up, and a man got to wake up 365 days out of the year and hear he's handsome or she's cute after just getting to argue with their significant other. All it takes for that person to be weak-minded that they're in their lower self to go. And then we really break up and this person slide on in because you might not be messy, but you may post it a certain type of way when people know y'all on a downfall, on a downgrade.
That
And then a
moment
man can
of
slide
vulnerability.
straight in, or a woman can slide straight in, and you know, there it is. So, but then they don't want to act like they didn't meet each other. So, how you know him? I didn't know you did. You met of them off social media. And then
That's
because
real.
you listen, it's called television. It calls television program because it's programming. Do you know when you wake up every day and you hit like on this particular woman page, you are programming yourself to like her
Right.
more than what you may know about her characteristics and intentions. So every time that picture scroll down, you hit like on it, you program yourself to really think you like that person. But until you get with somebody, you really don't know. It's like you were saying, we basically don't let the relationship flourish. We
Right.
just say, we together, instead of just saying, I'm gonna like this person and just see
Right.
where it go. So you waking up, you programming yourself to like that person by hitting likes on that picture. So I think that's what your wife is
Yeah,
kind of
man,
like saying
preaching.
when women are being slick. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta think about it. You're an entrepreneur. You
I'm
got
not
your
in
own
denial
shoe
about
store.
it. I totally agree, and there is a lot of truth in what she's saying. I'm not denying, but I'm just saying, how can you where can you separate it from she's just supporting or she's just, showing love, and it's not she want to fuck or she trying to get with me. Like, I don't feel that way with everybody who likes my pictures or comments or, I just don't, and I don't feel vice versa with her. If I see a guy or anything, I don't feel like they're trying to, this nigga trying to fuck. Why you leave 3 emojis and not 2 or 1? Like, I don't know, because I kind of understand social media. I mean, it could be a possibility that they do, because I feel like she's attractive, but I just don't assume like every guy or everybody's just on there to attack and just like, I want her. I don't know. I just don't.
I think the significant other draws the line, meaning she can feel that way, but you have to draw the line so she don't feel that way. So let's just say, for instance, these women are putting emojis or whatever on your it may sound weird, but you might be like, my wife said thank you or something. Just to redirect them. They want to know that they asserted to let this person know, like, this comes as a package. So if you hit, you know what I mean? So I think it's kind of like, and I'm talking from truth. I haven't learned how to do that. But with me protecting the person that might be my friend, not thinking they're really not on that, I'll be like, this person not trying to fuck, this person not trying to do that. But I think they saying it based like what I just said, like, now go ahead and let them know that this is this,
Right.
so they can go ahead and know don't ever even try it. You see what I'm saying?
And that's not saying like, and I do like your mindset of, making sure they understand like what it is. Like, yes, you see it's the family, but it's what I choose to respond and say, like, well, thank you, or she said thank you, or we say thank you. So putting that energy into it, that goes back to that support system. You're putting that energy into the actual relationship. So I think that is definitely important to make sure not only they know, but more importantly, who's sitting next to you knows.
So how would y'all go about dealing with your significant other or whomever you're dealing with at the time with social? Okay, let's put it like this. Everyone here has something going on as far as like business and entrepreneurship. We all knowing that we have to meet different people, male or female, every day, all day. Like you said, you can feel it when it's like business and when it's like something slick. But even if it's something slick, you may say, okay, I can tell that they like me, but this may be a good opportunity. Like, let's say, for instance, if a girl comes in and buy a pair of shoes and she's flirting, I'm not going to be like, look, man, I got a wife, you don't have to leave out and just shop online.
Right.
You can do all the flirting you want to. Now, it is upon me to engage in it or whatever, but I'm not going to turn down a possible sale because you feel like you can invade what I have going on. Like, once you leave, you're gone. Like, that's it. There's no more interaction unless, you continue to DM or you try to reach out and come back up the next day and the next day. But I just feel like, how do you, it's no getting around it with the type of work that we do. It's like, I don't feel like there's no getting around it. Like, there's going to be hints and just signs every day. And even it just may not be that may not be the case with everybody that you come across with. But how can, like, me personally, I'm not going to assume every guy, every female, I'm just not going to be like, oh, they DM you, ask you to take pictures. well, what the fuck they mean? What they want to see? Some ass
You'll
and
be
cheeks?
paranoid.
It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you.
I don't think of it that deep because I know how Instagram works. It may be an up and coming photographer that sees a nice female and say, she would be dope. Let me go and get some shots, and that'll kind of bring awareness to I can do dope pictures. So I try to think deeper when I see people approach my wife or whatever. I try to think deeper and not just assume this nigga's trying to get in between or break up what we have going on. But I mean I don't know. It just.
But women kind of like talk in circles, so I think she's like saying like, you know, let it. I'm gonna put it in your head before you react on it. Not saying you will, but I'm gonna go ahead and put it out there so you can be vigilant about it enough to know if you do it behind my back, I can say I told you so, or when it come up, I can be like I told you so. But I prepared you for it, and you still fail. You know, so I think it, I mean, and it's hard. It's not hard depending on the person. That's gonna particularly be on him. It's the point of today's age living in social media because a lot of women be naive. And a man can tell you, like, listen, this is who he is. And a woman can be like, nah, he ain't this. I've been knowing him for such and such. Or he talked to my, long as it ain't a blood relation, somebody that I know to somebody like, hey, listen here, dude, still, we can peep it just like that. But today's world with social media being so influenced, you know, it's instant gratification. That's why it's called Instagram. So everybody just instantly thinking, we liking somebody. It's moving much faster now. They moving much faster. The children are growing up much faster. You know, they learning more and more off the internet. You know, our grandparents, even if they was cheating, they didn't have the woman taking pictures beside him to upload it or saying I'm out with him. You know what I'm saying? You know, they didn't have the phones that can be tracking them or whatever case may be. You take a picture right here, your woman looking at the picture, what you doing in good? This picture say you was in good bed, they show you the picture over here. So it's like, you know, everything is just tracking everything. So women are just basically, and then you look at the culture. They say they savages. I'm outside, or what's the other one? Hot girl summer. Hot girl summer. These are code words that you gotta know when they saying this, and you know. So when these come up, the women are basically they giving us this is where we at with it. If you can do it, why I can't do it? So that's basically what the women are saying. Like I know the woman's mind frame of today's world. And I don't be the dummy and don't fall for it. So I'm gonna forewarn you. She like it. You know.
I mean that is real. Like the instant gratification is definitely like real.
Yeah.
So I definitely do agree, and it's sad, but it is what it is. But that's when it comes to dating, it's like you have to almost find somebody who's just like-minded in what you do, because if not, then they're just gonna fail because they're not set up for it. I mean, we all have businesses that are going to attract both male and female. And we have to have a partner who is just as secure within themselves and have something going on, you know, in their own personal life to be able to not only be distracted, but get an understanding.
But that makes sense.
Because if you don't, they're gonna fail and be insecure. Which everybody has their insecurities. We are all fall of that. We all have our own insecurities. But to be confident in knowing you have those insecurities and be vocal with your partner is very important as well.
But are you scared to date?
I've tried to
because
date.
of that.
I've tried to date, and you know, people fall in love with the ideal of me, and they don't actually want what I have to offer.
That's big.
So,
That's big.
yeah, they love what they see, but that instant gratification.
Right.
They love what they see, but they don't want to tap in.
Because a lot of people with me, you know.
Hold on, y'all, so we can get it before we start.
It's actually still rolling.
Okay,
Yes,
okay.
we good.
Okay, I'm gonna start with this question. So, what I don't understand with friendship versus relationship. So, what I noticed with some of my friends is, and I'm speaking on past tense when a lot of us was younger, but some of them still do this. So, you'll have I'm gonna give you a scenario. So, you'll have a friend. You have a guy, for instance, and he has a girlfriend or whatever, and then he has a friend, or he has an acquaintance or something. I know guys that'll let females do the most disrespectful shit, bust your car, call the police on you, come knocking at your door, 3 in the morning, like putting you in all type of predicaments that can, you know, take your freedom away from you. And the next day, like it's good. Like don't care, but let a guy do that. Let me come beating on your door 3 in the morning. Let me send you text messages. Fuck you, nigga. Is whatever. Let me shoot at your car. Let me come out your house.
To the female.
No. Let another random guy do that to the guy.
Oh yeah.
And then now I'm ready to kill this nigga. Now it's on site, but this female just did the exact same thing to you. She risked her freedom. You know, she risked a lot of stuff, and now it's, I guess, and which I understand. She's giving you sexual relations, so it's like, how can I be mad? She's gonna fuck me tomorrow or the next day or whatever. But with a guy, it's like you're ready to lose your freedom over some shit that a female just done, which could have cost you your freedom. Just certain situations, which I don't understand. So I've never been in that situation. I've never had females do anything to put me in harm's way as far as like arguments are concerned. It'll end at that. It's never, I'm telling people, you got guns at your house and you got this and motherfucker come outside, you finna get me put out my apartments and shit. Like, no, don't do that.
I seen something where a female was speaking and she was like, because we have made toxic culture a trait. Like women said, they have made it where you can be toxic and we gonna fuck good later. You can be, I'm toxic, but I want to. Tell me you love me and shoot in my car. Let me see your 40 Glock hanging out your pants and all this. Like they have made toxic a trait instead of addressing it and knowing that it's not great. Now, this all goes within where you grow up and how you was raised and all that. But at the same time, people arguing then going fucking, that shit gonna get old and played out because you no longer become cute. You know what I'm saying? You think you can bust my windows and I'm just gonna go be back with you. I'm gonna go be in jail. No, all that becomes you get older, your children start to see more, and you can't deal with it. But to bag up what you were saying about the man will let a female do that, then when a dude do it, he'll be ready to beef with him. It's the same thing with women, vice versa. A dude can owe us money. He can come short on shit he owe us. You know what I'm saying? Keep fucking up, and we'll still keep giving him chances. But the woman that proved her loyalty so many times, you know, even if you a man that have been incarcerated, she proves she loyal to that, and you come out and you still do what you do. It's all in the time frame we in. It's all in Western culture, the way we've been taught. At some point in time, we have to address our traumas and whatever happened to us, switched our mind frame, and we must go back to their original mind state. So that's what I kind of like feel like about, you know, what you were just explaining.
You ever been in that situation?
I am.
You've been the abuser and vice versa?
I have not been the abuser. However, I have received. I won't state what, just because that's personal.
Yeah.
But this situation, I never thought would, you know, transpire what happened. And knowing that I felt like my safety was at risk, you know, at that point, it was just, I was mind blown because I was like, I never would have thought, you know, we would be like here, especially from a man. You know, it's like men don't do that, you know, like men cheat, men, you know, do all this other stuff, but men aren't that,
take it to that
that crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
They slash tires.
they slash tires, they do.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. How many times did you, if it's not your, how many times did you, like,
Allow that
how
to
many
happen?
yeah.
So I only allow that once to happen, you know, and I was like, I'm done, you know. I don't put up with that. That's not the individual that I am. I don't put that energy out there, so I'm not going to receive it. I do applaud myself in my loyalty. I do applaud myself in, you know, sticking by my man's side, and to know that somebody is willing to jeopardize that, you know, it's no.
So can you still have a conversation with this person?
My thing is that I feel like if people put themselves into those situations of being toxic, of, you know, lying, cheating, doing what they do, they are not in a position to ask for closure. They have already made their decision. Like, no, you don't need your closure. You've already made your decision. Like,
But
you
how
meditated on it. Like, you meditated to cheat. You meditated, like, no, not good love. It's just, I don't.
But does the human aspect of forgiveness ever come over you and
Oh yeah, I forgave you, but doesn't mean I have to give you closure. My peace is me just cutting ties. I don't feel like, I have to give you closure for your peace. Like, you need to find your own type of peace. Like, you've tried to ruin my peace. And at that point, like, no, I have nothing to say. So, I think it's just...
I feel like everybody deserves that one chance. You can do something out the way crazy, like, the banging at the door, getting loud and stuff. I can give you that one chance. I can give you that one chance. But when it's repeatedly, like, this is something you're doing every week, it's just like, now this is
like
toxic.
You're doing this and you're devaluing who I am as an individual.
Yeah, because when I hear females say that, I believe this is something that you're becoming to like. When you had 3 or 4 guys doing the same thing, like fighting niggas in the club over you, or like beating at your house and chasing you down the street in the car, like, this is something that you like.
That's what I was going to say. That's not at that point. Like, you
prefer things like that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, why? Because this could possibly, even though this is things we see on TV, like as far like maybe a Tyler Perry movie, he's chasing her down the street or she's chasing him, it's wet, it's raining, boom, car flip, somebody dies. Like, this can really happen. It's not just fun, girl, I'm chasing this nigga, he think he finna get away, like, yeah, it's funny, but until something actually goes wrong, and it's like, damn, that can be prevented, because like you say, that dude or that female's mother ain't gonna be like, girl, I know how it be, but, it's alright, he passed and we'll get up. No, like, that was my son. He wouldn't have been running from you if you hadn't been chasing him. Or vice versa. She wouldn't have been running from you if you hadn't been chasing after her.
And that's my thing. It goes back to what you stated earlier. Somebody, like, people are allowed to have their chances. And I feel like when chances are given, multiple chances are given, you're allowing that person to devalue. Like, you are literally saying, I'm okay with you kind of like, fucking with me. Like, I'm okay with you kind of treating me less than who I am. And that just lets them know, like, okay, I know what I can do. I know what I can get away with.
Yeah.
And I used to have this conversation, that's called accountability. Women be like, why do I keep attracting not shit man or whatever the case may be? Now, let's keep it honest. You can be a healer and attract people that's hurt because you're a healer. But if you are attracting so-called not shit man and you are blaming a man, at some point you have a choice to say, like, let's just say a woman might be, she's not intimate with one person, but she just dating 3 dudes, not sexual with them. But you have a choice to say, okay, if this dude is provider, I might like him a little more, but I'm not attracted to him physically. This dude, I'm attracted to him physically, but he don't got his shit together. Women choose all these men, and none of them end up working. They be like, man, not shit. But in the day, you still have accountability of letting a not shit person in your life.
That's right.
So you instead of just blaming the man, even if I cheat, I'm accountable for that in myself and in God's eyes and in the relationship I have with that person. But for you to keep allowing me back and to blame me, I'm no longer. It's some form of falling on you as well, as far as accountability. And that's why, like, when you was like, I was done with that person, I'm done with this person. That's major, and I applaud you for it. But at the same time, in today's society, people are given more than chances.
I mean, I think it's okay.
And to walk away right now, I mean, the dude would be like, if I talk to the dude, he'd be like, man, bro, I messed up one time. You ain't talk to her no more. Nah, bro, she won't answer. That's like a unicorn. You know what I mean? Because then she give you another chance. Listen here, man, give me another chance.
Because it's like how much time did you give to that individual? Did you give them 6 months? Did you give them a year? And within that, what did they do? So are they truly worth, coming back, like, after they messed up? Some people aren't worthy of that. You have to protect your peace, because ultimately you know what you deserve, and you know what you are supposed to be, like what type of love, what, just everything. Only you truly know that. So if I'm going to allow somebody to continue to devalue what I'm supposed to be receiving, then I don't know what I'm supposed to be receiving.
The way you said, you're right, because females who allow that, you are devaluing yourself. Because when you tell me stories like that, not you, but I'm saying, when females tell me stories about being in toxic relationships over and over, like you said, like, now I know what I can get away with. Now I know you allowing this shit. And it's like, I'm not going to look at you the same anymore. I'm be like, Well, you let that nigga do it. That nigga, he did it, and you ain't give a fuck. You ain't do it, or you ain't call your brother on that nigga when he did it. Like, now I'm not gonna take you serious at all. I feel like no man would when, I mean, some, you know, if they see that this female is dealing with, you know, past traumas, or she, you know, she wants better, but she can't see no other way. Like, this is all she know. Like, like she needs toxic to feel love. Like, I need you to pull your gun out to show me, nigga, you love me. I need you to point that motherfucker in my head. Like, this is things that people do.
No, they really believe
And to feel real, and that's
No, I mean, like, that's real. Like, I'm laughing because it's like, I would never, but that's not me.
Right.
Like, some people really do need that type of love. To me, that's toxic. To them, it's not.
But
you
then,
know, and
but some women even like where they seen it in movies, where they think is where it's supposed to be in their mind and their perspective. Like, if I tell you to leave, don't just walk out. Tell me you ain't going nowhere. Push me against the wall. Be like, I ain't going nowhere. Take your ass upstairs. But like, some people are not confrontational. But you might not want the gun, but you might want that. But like, I take words literally because I do a lot of reading. So somebody tell me to leave, I'm taking it for that. You see what I'm saying? Then I leave and you like, I don't want you like a woman say, I'm gonna go out with my homeboys. Now don't go out today. And then she end up saying, well, you can go on out. Then you end up going out. She throw a shoe in the back of your head. Like, you just told me I can go out. They want to see if you're going to do it. Women kind of like pressure you to see where you at with it. And if you accept it, you fail. You see what I'm saying?
I mean,
so that's why I say women talk in circles and men line straight up. So women, when they asking you stuff, they already got 75 to 95% of the story. They just want to see if you're going to line up with it. But a man just comes straight out. I seen a nigga texting you. I seen, you know what I'm saying, a woman be like, my phone text. Say something about a text. No, you already got a simple text in your phone that they didn't seen it. A man's gonna come out and say it. I ain't got time to be playing games. But so that's kind of like what it is when people love this toxic stuff. So you might not like the gun, but you might like the mind games and tell him to leave and see if he gonna leave, and then they actually leave and then get mad. So I believe we need to set our own standards of what dating is for our culture, for our community, and what it is, instead of looking to love and hip hop, instead of looking to propaganda, instead of looking to movies and getting a false perspective, because you love being in Jay-Z marriage, but you can't tell me nobody in your family that was married. You see what I'm saying? So where do you get a woman who ain't never had a daddy trying to tell you how to be a daddy? How can you, you know what I'm saying? It becomes false, and it becomes that we don't really actually know what being a real man or woman is. We got an idea of it, and that's what Trav was talking about, having wishful thinking. Why do we get into relationships for wishful thinking? Wishing that this person would be this person, wishing that this woman would be that person. I wish he gonna hit me with these bigs. I wish he gonna get a goal, but then they don't have it and we upset. But we stay in a relationship based on wishful thinking when we really need to get to the core idea of how our culture and our unity describe a father, a mother, dating, marriage, relationship, instead of looking at social media and get these memes. I be telling people all the time, like, you be posting these memes, but what if I just got hurt by a woman and I post this meme to go viral, bitches ain't shit, and you be posting it, like, I might just got hurt by a woman. That don't mean every woman ain't shit. So women be reposting these, what's the dude that get reposted all the time, Justin LaBoy and all that. He say some real stuff sometimes, but you gotta understand, he could be a straight man, he can be a gay man, he can identify all type of stuff. He can be, you know what I'm saying? So don't use that and send it to the person, your significant other, because y'all having a disagreement thinking that this what this mean because you doing this. You know what I mean? Like, this is on the internet.
Yeah, people do go through with a lot of memes. I try my best personally to post only funny memes. I try not to post relationship memes and stuff like it, because I just don't feel like, I don't live by all those memes that people I see, and especially some people that I know for sure, like, I mean, that I know personally, that I see post certain memes about relationships, like, but you're not even living like it, or that's not even what you really want. Like, you don't want that, or these goals, you don't really want that. If you did, you probably, like, the goals that I want, I mean, some people, you know, like, put it out there and you're gonna get it, and that's true, but I personally never posted my goals. Like, I just told myself, I always told myself what I wanted and what I wanted to do. I just didn't feel like, I don't feel like me posting it is enough. I think people see, well, if I post this every morning, it's gonna come. You still gotta put the work in. You can't post, I want a man who could clean this, that, and the third, and bring home the bread, and it's just gonna happen.
People think that they can sit at home and just think that they're gonna track something. But I'm like, sis, you gotta get out of your house.
Yeah,
Like, you gotta go to these places. Like, you want to manifest and pray and speak it, but ultimately you have to put in the work as well. It's just, and that's in every aspect of life. Like, you can't just expect to be running a business thinking you're gonna sit at home. Like,
Right.
that's not how it works.
How do you guys feel like, how do you guys feel about building new relationships and being in a relationship or dating at the time that you're, or dating while you're building new relationships? Oh, so let's say, for instance,
I
you're
was
single.
like, I'm so in my
Yeah, so
head.
you're single,
Right.
but you're dating.
I'm single.
But at
I'm single.
the same time, you're building relationships not for
Right.
dating, but for business purposes.
Right.
How do you feel? Do you think that's understandable for a person? Like, say if you get into this situation with a person, and they may not look at it like it. It's like, okay, you're single and we're trying to build something or whatever, but you're still out here. You're meeting this guy. What do you mean you're going to go do a video? What do you mean you're going to go take pictures? Or you going to, like, I thought you was all about me. Like, does that? Well, I mean, I know that's not going to stop you from building new relationships with people. But I'm saying, let's say, like, for me, for instance, I try to build new relationships, but I don't, because I see people on Instagram and their business is really flourishing because they go out a lot, and it's not on the, I just want to go out and party and meet people and just, it's more so business. They go in there with the mindset like, you know, I'm going to network, but how do you not let that get mixed up with, I'm not trying to just go party and do this, but this is,
Results.
you know, I'm trying to,
That's how you want to let it get mixed up. I don't mean to cut you off. You don't let it get mixed up because when the results come in, the numbers are not going to lie.
Right.
So even though I'm going out, look at these numbers from this week to last week. You know, my analytics, look at my online sales. Look at the way I'm getting traffic to the store. You know, look at my marketing, promotion. You know, look at the website. It looks two times better. You constantly reinventing and being innovative about things. So, you know, a lot of these girls, so-called, when they see these influencers or, you know, housewives, they might go out and party, see them popping bottles, but they're getting paid to be in there. So it's not a liability anymore. It's an asset. So you got this bad girl mind state, like you want to be like any of these influencers on social media, but they actually get paid to be in the club. So that's what I think will be the difference. Like, show me the results of you going out. Show me the results of you going to the sneaker con. Look what shoes you bring back. That's the results of me going out. I'm not just going out of town and that's it. I'm out there buying shoes and then I come back, look at my store and I go out. I mean, because you got to always be in tune with your audience. You got to know your target audience. And my target is the urban community. So I have to stay in cahoots with them no matter how much knowledge, wisdom, and understanding I get. If I deviate from that, I'm either going to have to start selling to my new target audience or I'm gonna lose sales with the urban community.
So what do you do when the female or your significant other looks at it like, nigga, that's not what you want to go do? You can show all the, you like, no, baby, I went from selling 20 outfits to 50 this week, and, you know, it was all cuz I went to the club, bought one bottle, got some hookah, and, you know, had all these people behind me, and we was all in the booth, but
then she got to show me on paper why I'm not doing it since we talking results, and I to show her on Twitter before it, then you can break it down to me, you know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's just, it's hard because I be wanting to go out so bad, and I really don't, but I do for only that reason, to promote, because I want to go out and look nice, and I want people to see, because I want to attract people to my business, not to me, but also to me too, because I want people,
You
I
are
want
the
them to
face of
attract.
the business. Yeah.
But I don't want to get it misconstrued as, nigga, you just going out and trying to get all these females, and, you know, like, that's not the case. But what do you do in a situation like that? Like, you just,
I feel like the right person understands, and I can't just express it enough. Like, the right person's going to understand. At times, yeah, we might get a little, okay, you know, right, that's what you're going to do. But at the end of the day, like, we have to entrust in that person. And again, what are they doing? Like, do they have a business as well? You know, are they keeping, like, busy, or are they just sitting at home? You know, not saying a 9 to 5 is wrong, but are you pushing for more?
Yeah.
Like, are you putting your face out there within your company to do more? You know, so.
Or are you pushing the brand for me when I get home or whatever? Are you going to go out and promote with me?
Right.
You know? And that would be the hard thing when your significant other don't take a liking to your business or your goals, especially when you already flourish yourself by doing it. You know, the foundation is already laid. All you gotta do is like when I come in, like look, you got 10 sales. I already got the pack. You just go to the post office, let them off, and then because people, you know, you can't be going this way. You can't be pulling the opposite sides. You gotta be going one way. So it's hard to get people on track because when people, like we say, we're not knocking, you know, people who work 9 to 5, you know, but they can get stuck in a cycle, in a so-called rat race.
Okay, let me ask y'all this last question. So, let's say you going out building relationships, and the relationship you build is with the opposite sex, and it becomes, now you're already in a relationship or you're dating or whatever the case is, and you build this new relationship with the opposite sex.
You're saying a business relationship? Or
Yeah, business
okay,
relationship,
okay.
yeah. And it becomes a real good relationship. Now, it could,
It requires you
It's
being
no longer
out having
platonic.
fun.
yeah, it requires you being out having fun, you know, a lot of messages back and forth, a lot of hee hee ha ha, and then you just kind of, you're compatible with this person. Not saying that y'all can be in a relationship, but in someone's eyes or your significant other eyes, like, damn, y'all act like y'all together, y'all act like, but it could strictly be, we just connected, and we're, you know, this is somebody that we have a lot in common, but we just so happen to be doing this for our businesses at the same time. Like, how would y'all go about that if it was vice versa? If your significant other just so happened to meet a new person of the opposite sex and they bond comes so close?
I feel like it's gonna happen. You meet those people who might be in the same field, that same passion, that same energy you guys share. So of course, that chemistry is gonna somewhat come there because that's why you guys are building a business, or not business together, but building, you know, together. So it's gonna happen. But at the end of the day, it's like, when does that line be drawn of it's no longer platonic? And then also, like, am I respecting, you know, my partner and making sure that this business person meets them, you know, and just saying, hey, you know what, maybe this conversation went a little bit too far, and acknowledging that.
But I feel
Yes, they always do.
And
that's a
the
slippery slope.
accountability.
That's a slippery slope because when you're in the nightlife, you're drinking and you know, if you're drinking, it's not no, I'm saying you're more inclined, or you're more inclined to something going wrong. It can be just as simple as I open up the door and, you know, you swipe me going by, not really knowing, but like, you know, a simple touch or whatever the case may be. Because remember, we got chemistry for this business relationship. It's strictly gonna be on the person. It's strictly gonna be on the person. I'm not saying that, but you have to understand. A year we've been having a good business relationship. After a year we bonding, and you know, like, you got shit facing, man. I have to drop you off at home, man. Get it, you know what I'm saying? It can happen. So your significant other is already playing these scenarios in their head. So I'm saying it's a slippery slope, and your significant other is valid for even either trying to forewarn you or even being worried about it. Because why would I not be worried? You know, would you not think I ain't love you if I wasn't worried about it? Like in some form, like you don't care. Like they never asked, and then when it finally happened and I asked, and you look at me, well, you never cared. He asked me all the questions. Like I'm trying to ask questions. You think I'm insecure?
So would you cut it off? Would you say, because I asked because they say a lot of relationships start from friendships, and like you said,
I mean,
it
that's how
should
we
start
look
from
at
a
actors.
friendship.
I mean,
Yeah.
they end up playing a role together in a movie,
Indeed.
and then years down the line, they end up being married.
So,
Yeah.
like, do you feel like you should cut it off for your significance sake? Like, should you be like, well, I'm gonna just let the whole relationship go? It's like I just won't speak to her, and then it comes to now it's the friendship part. Like, what happened? Like, damn, we don't talk to me. We don't go out. We're not making content no more, and we're not like. I'm not supporting you, you're not supporting me. Like, say if it's a picture of you showing your butt, like, you're not reposting it no more. So it's like, do you cut it off? Like, what do you do with
There's
that
a
one?
line that gets drawn, but if it's a good business, like it's the revenue and like you bring a home bread, and through this person that you're building with, we're not cutting that off. We're not cutting that off because like I need to eat too. Like you gonna bring me? No, but it's that line that we're gonna have this conversation, and this is what we're not gonna do. And and if it happens again, then yeah, it's the whole business, friendship, all of that is tied.
I feel like it's just so difficult. Because I was gonna say it usually works better when it's like, okay, bring this person around and let me get their energy, and they come off as like, yeah, we cool, we just.
But then they don't
like,
mix. So you bring your business partner around, and they don't mess with the person you're in a relationship with, and then they automatically.
But that should happen at the beginning. That because again, you're a package. Like, even though yes, we have a business together, but if I'm in a marriage or relationship that's heavy, you are ultimately like expecting.
So would you assume if your significant or your partner, whomever, brings the female around, are you gonna be like, after she leaves, I know y'all do business, but she likes you. I can feel it. She likes you.
I feel like it's important to know, and to let it be known, like, hey, like, I just want you to know this is the energy that I received. If it's wrong, it's wrong, but this is what I'm feeling. As long as you are open enough to your partner saying, hey, this is the energy I received from this individual, let me know, just be open. If you're not going to communicate, it's not going to work.
But I'm gonna tell you some stuff that the world might not really want to accept. Flirting gets you through doors.
These are facts.
And women know it. And women know it. Now, a man can be handsome and do a little bit, but it's actually women that it can be something that you may need. A man will give it to your woman before he give it to you. And let's just say you need something done. You can't get it done. You're trying to go to this person. The dude who you trying to go to might not even know that your girlfriend, and she go get it done and come back and be like, this my man, he be looking crazy like, damn, I just told him no. You know what I mean? So like, play your cards, because you're trying to be successful, man. And then this is what a lot of women have trouble with, because they have to almost put themselves out there as objects to get better positions in life. This is why the women empowerment movement is so strong, because once they get empowered and they help other women, which is great, what they're supposed to do, it's projected to the world like, men holding them back and holding them down. And in some forms it do be like that. But in the same time, your woman know you as a man being handsome, intellectual, entrepreneur. She know that you can use that same power too, though. So would you do it? And how would you do it? And some women, the person you work with be like, listen here, we got a business meeting, you got to leave her home. That mess up the whole energy. You know what I'm saying? The revenue, right? So it's like, do you cut the revenue off in the person and let that be, or do you go on out with her and then a picture come down social media, your wife or your significant other see you happy, and then you got to come in, you ain't touching, you really on the business, but you come back in and it's like she's sitting in the house waiting like a kid to play stepdad in a movie. You know what I'm saying? Ready to grill you. So it's like, I say it's a slippery slope, man. But it's gonna go down to trust in your relationship. I believe every man know his woman, and every woman know her man deep down. Like, look, when you drink, you really do too much, or when you put on clothes, you do too much. So, with all that being said, you have to know your significant other too, though. It's some stuff that women I've dated and all the way to my marriage now that I know would do things and wouldn't do things. Now, if you do it, I'm gonna hold you accountable for that. But I can go to sleep with closure, knowing the type of woman that I've chose. But
I appreciate y'all for coming today. I really do. Once again, this is Wanda Keep here. We at the Soul Socket, the Sit Down Sundays. I'm going to introduce yourself. People going to close out.
I'm Jessica Lene. Don't forget to follow me on all platforms. I'm a Nashville influencer, content creator. Jessica Lene with a little underscore.
I'm Brother Sanchez Bay, aka Chainsaw Charlie. Follow me on Instagram. Founder CEO of Hitstar Apparel, co-founder of Chop It Up Barbershop. Thank y'all. Peace.
We'll be back next Sunday. Thank you. I appreciate it. That was a good conversation.